Okay, I promised everyone some type of minute-sized timer. An update. Now, here's what's funny is because of the new choices, the new decisions about, and if you haven't figured it out yet, it's about internet time. We still are kind of in the this has just been going on for a couple of days, and I don't even really know exactly what my rules are going to be for myself, and I already feel like, oh, I don't want to be cheating already. So, here's what's going down. Like anyone who's watching this, I think we can safely say, you're probably wasting time online. And I do too, obviously. The thing about it is this. 2 years ago, I didn't even have a computer. Not that I didn't know what one was, but we had one computer. Mr. F still worked from home. He had his computer. It was in the basement. In order to use the computer, I'd have to go to the basement. I mean, who wants to do that? So basically, up until 2 years ago, I was online, if I had to buy something online. I didn't even manage our bills online or any of that. You'd be lucky if I returned an email. So, I mean, honestly, I didn't even check my email for months at a time. Oh, this bread's going to be really crazy. So, let's just say my life in that regard is really shifted, obviously. And I struggle with that, and I have from the beginning. Because from the beginning, I've questioned, what am I giving up to have this? Mr. F really wanted me to have a laptop. It's because we were having a baby, and I could have more freedom. I wouldn't have to go away from the kids to check stuff, so that was helpful. But also, I'll say, there have been immense positives and immense negatives, For one thing, part of the background information is Mr. F has long had an internet addiction. He's not addicted to porn. I've asked. He's just addicted to being online. I mean, he really is. And, I mean, if I think about our life together, I mean, that has been the case for a long time. But, we've been together before the internet was what it is now. And, instead he would just watch sports constantly. Then he got in, as things picked up and there was all that stuff, then he was, constantly online doing fantasy sports. To the point where I had to be like, this is ruining our lives, you have to stop. So he did, but then he started getting obsessed with political stuff online and his blog and doing all that non-stop, He'd be up till 4 in the morning doing that. Now the problem with him is he works on a computer, so it's a constant, it's constantly accessible to him, and for me it wasn't, and I really didn't understand, and it caused a lot of marital tension. Alright, fast forward 2 years ago, I get a computer. People, 2 years ago, not only did you'd be lucky if you got an email from me. 2 years ago, I didn't know what a blog was. At all. Had no idea. Alright, I start my blog as a fluke. I'm thinking nothing. I mean, who thinks they're going to have people reading it, let alone, hundreds of people reading it every day. No one. You don't think that. I didn't even know that would really even be a possibility. You know what I mean? So it's just, so it kind of did its own thing. And at the time, for sure, in the beginning, I was obsessed with the blog. The benefit of that was I was a stay-at-home mom with a kid who went to preschool part-time and a baby who slept all the time. It wasn't taking away from anybody. But then the blog got a life of its own, and it became a job, and I felt, and I do still feel and have to struggle with this, I wake up and I already am worried about what can I post, is that going to be good enough, is that going to be balanced out enough, if I did something funny yesterday, I need to do something serious today, or I need to, I also still want to use my blog for my own purposes, and, have some kind of organizational thing going on there. So, I mean, I really think about it, people, I really think about it, I put a lot of thought and effort into it, I really respect that people take the time to see what's going on in my life, and I don't want to, bore you. I don't know. It's it's a give and take. And while, of course, on one hand it's ridiculous, on the other hand, for a while I was making money doing it, and now I'm not so much. And there was a feeling oh, this is on the verge of taking off, I'm winning these awards, and this is a big deal. But you have to keep on putting so much into it to like make that happen, and I just don't have more to give into it. So then I've just been like, fine, I like what it is. I like the readership I have. I don't really need any more readers. If I get more readers, fantastic. But we all know with more readers, you know, you reach a threshold. With more, you get criticism, and God knows I don't handle that well. So it's like, you know, fine. I just want to maintain it for what it is. Sometimes does it feel like I have to do it, and of course I know all of you don't think I need to, and it's ridiculous. But at the same time, I know that at the same time I have friends and validation and support in a way that I didn't have and don't have sometimes in my real life. You know, of course, I don't have hundreds of friends, you know, like in my real life. And I don't need hundreds of friends. But, you know, it's just been so empowering and fulfilling and all of that at the same time. That there is, and Mr. F and I openly talk about this, like, there is something to putting some time into it, because at the times that I do need stuff out of it, it's there and I get so much out of it. And I do like everybody and, you know, want to know what's going on with people and have the conversation and all that. I mean, I still am a stay-at-home mom who doesn't necessarily leave the house. So there's that side of it. But and it isn't even the blog that's the problem. That's what's funny. It isn't my blog that's the problem. The problem is I have a laptop. I have my comments set to email, right? My laptop dings every time somebody comments or I get an email. I can be doing something. I can be involved doing something else. I'll hear the ding and I feel like a compulsion to check and see what it was. And what's the difference, people? If I check it in 15 minutes and read the 10 comments, it's the same as if I read each comment individually as they come in. Like, I don't need to be real time, you know? It's not. Let me fix it. You wanted to push it? Push it. Okay. So there's that. And that's just definitely like a compulsion and a habit, because it was really... Oh, that's my 7 minutes. Okay. I'm going to give you 2 more minutes. When I first started, it was so exciting, and like, you know, I'm just a normal person with a normal, you know, 5 friends and staying home with a baby. So exciting to have hundreds of people want to know what's going on in my life. Like, I mean, like, it was definitely exciting, compelling, addictive, you know, all that. And I just set up a habit for how I run myself online, and then I just haven't broken it. Then we move here, and our computers are in our main space, both of us. And I'm just talking about me. Mr. F is a whole different thing, and I'll talk about that at a different time. But I will be like doing something, and every time I go to the bathroom or every time I have to go to something, I'll check my computer. Check. And every time I check, that's a window. Where's the baby? Let's find it. What? Find a baby? Okay. Every time I check, it's a window into an opportunity to do more and waste more time. And it's not that I ever sit down. I mean, maybe at night when kids are bed, I might like sit down and spend time online. But in general, it's like 10 or 15 minutes. When here's a baby. When my intention. A bottle. A bottle? I don't know. A pink bottle. Oh, you have to look through there, hon. Dig through. You know, my intention is, oh, I'm going to check the weather. But then I check the weather, and then I check our bank accounts, and then I decide to see what's going on with our credit card, and then from there, like, I read somebody's blog, you know, like, and the next thing you know, it's 20 minutes when I meant to do something for 6 seconds, when I could just condense all of that. So here's the new thing, like, long and short of it, this is what's going to go down. I have computer rules now for myself, and I'm still trying to figure out what they are. But, my computer is a laptop, but I'm shutting it down. The computer is shut down, and I have to start it up when I want to sit down, and I need to know what my plan is. You know, sometimes if I'm going to write a post, I need 45 minutes to do that, to edit it, you know. Sometimes I just need 5 minutes, you know. So my plan is during a weekday, I have an hour to an hour and a half, depending on what my total goals for the day are, to be online. Because I manage our household online, I manage our finances, I get recipes, I do all of that. So some of that is legitimate. And, you know, I still want to be involved with my blog, write it, return comments, and I still want to be able to have time to research stuff because I'm a total freak, you know? Oh, running out of time. Alright. More on this later.